guys have anything else under old new business?
No, sir.
I believe, Judge, for the last 3.5 years, I've come to you guys and beat a dead horse. Last month, you guys approved a 7% raise for the guys. I'm coming to you again. I appreciate the 7, but again, we're losing guys. We're losing another deputy to the Bardstown Police Department, and he's gonna be making $10,000 more and better insurance for his family. About 60% of the guys that are at the sheriff's office are young, married, or have kids, and they have to get family insurance. That's a killer and a devastator to lose a kid like what I'm about to lose to the city of Bardstown. I don't know what the solution is. I know that we cannot give them the $5 that they're gonna be getting next door, but it's a slap in the face to lose guys to next door. The same building that I'm in, they're walking across to work over there. It's devastating because I've told you and told you, law enforcement is becoming a dinosaur. People don't want to be the police. And it's harder and harder to get and attract people to come work for you. You guys that sit on fiscal court are part of this because you guys have 17 guys that work for me. And it has to be a team effort for us to create a solution and stop the bleed. And it's not even a bleed, it's beyond that. A Band-Aid can't put a stop to this.
By losing one officer, you're saying it's more than...
Keith, we're getting ready to lose 3.
Well,
New Haven gave me the go to hire somebody for New Haven in March. Can't hire. They want to come through the sheriff's office to get law enforcement. I put out retired guys and guys because they don't want to pay the benefits. Nobody wants to be the police no more.
yeah, I understand.
And it's frustrating as the head of the agency that I can't help them and do anything about it. It has to be a team effort between you 6 or the future fiscal court, but it has to be done ASAP or we're gonna lose more guys.
You know, we've discussed this before, so I don't want to beat the horse to death here. But it is a fact that our department pays much more than surrounding counties. And
We cannot compare surrounding counties, Dean. That
Well, you're
has to
comparing
stop.
us to
they can't take all your
Because they're
deputies.
walking next door, Keith.
They can't take all your deputies.
You can't blame them if they can do better.
Okay. When the public start calling me for public safety, I'm gonna tell them to call you guys.
That's fine.
When you get below
You
the
tell me
17
you don't get complaints from the sheriff's office,
I don't.
that should be a plus for you to say yes.
That is the plus.
But you wanna battle every time I come to you all and say, let them go next door. You guys don't have the stress and dealing with the guys that leave and me replacing them. You don't have that.
Well, I don't think we all say that, Ramon.
I'm not saying you all.
Yeah.
3 of you
Yeah.
either answer a call or return the text. The other did not.
But I think we need possibly get a committee together and see if we can come up with a solution that benefits Raymond and us.
So we keep going back and forth against the city, keep raising and the city will raise. That's what happened last time. For about 10 or 12, 15 years, we were $4 ahead of the city on our pay for our deputies.
They don't have to do that, Dean, because they got a pay scale that every 2 years, they get a raise. Every 2 years.
And they're also hiring these retired deputies, and they're saving about $250,000 a year by hiring those
They're
retired.
not, they've all left.
You know,
We can go to Bardstown and ask them how many retired guys they have, and they might have a handful, if that.
It can only be 25% of the force, what I understand.
It's changed. You can hire as many as you can.
Okay,
Because, again, you cannot have, people don't want to be the police.
I understand.
you know, and Raymond, I sympathize with you, man. I think we're gonna have to come up with a solution to stop it. But I think, I think this is a problem that's probably shared not just with, you know, this sheriff's department here, but it's probably across the board in law
It is.
enforcement.
It's
I mean,
across
it is, it's
the
a
state.
problem. So, you know, and really, if you look even across the different departments in local government, we have trouble, you know, hiring and retaining employees. I think that, you know, when the legislature chose to do away with the defined benefit for retirement, it really shot, you know, local government in the leg as far as having a carrot that
It's
would.
gonna kick them in the butt and then we'll come back to a retirement or else
It
will not have a retirement
So
system.
I think we should just sit down and get together and just kind of look at some options and see what we can come up with, you know, as a, you know, the sheriff's department, because we're both, I think Gary's right.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, we bought out 3 contracts in the last little bit, over the last year or so, right?
I have another one that's $40,000 if you guys would like to buy it, but I would suggest you take that money on buying contracts and invest in your guys that are working here in the county with that money. I think the last contracts was 20 apiece or something like 10 and.
One was 11 or 12, and then the other one was about,
And this one's 40. I
That's
think I did the
40.
math, and a $2 raise for these guys would be a little bit over $100,000.
let me work up the numbers and send them what the exact cost. Because $2 an hour, you also have to add in the retirement part and social security match as well. The raise that we gave at 7% was about $800,000. Because that was divided over all the departments.
But that's across the county.
Yeah,
all
that's
counties.
what I said, it was divided up amongst all the departments.
You guys hold 17 guys, $2, $34,000, and then add another 17,000 plus other benefits.
I think we need to sit down and talk, you know, get the committee together with the sheriff and see what we can come up with.
Okay. We have a police and EMS committee, or
You know, you
public
really-
safety committee.
You gotta be creative. I mean, because like I said, we don't have that defined benefit anymore. I mean,
Oh, yeah, you're exactly right, that's
you gotta be really creative about retaining and
We've
keeping
sat down,
employees.
this is not a bashing towards fiscal court, I've sat down with Dean and we've tried to come up with ideas to fix the problem.
I thought 7% was a big
Some-
number to me.
Some of the things now that they're going to is unlimited sick time. My guys usually don't utilize sick time unless they're really sick.
What do you mean by unlimited sick time?
Basically, they give you unlimited sick time and you use it as you need it.
The city does?
Just in general, law enforcement or other agencies or other departments, that's becoming a thing of the future. It's being creative.
So you work when you want to work, that's what it sounds like to
You know,
me.
But normally, I mean, my guys come to work.
You know, Raymond, me and you kind of discussed this a little bit before, but I think it would be, you know, something, a good proposal would be to give them an incentive raise, give them a stipend every increment of five years or so, because I remember when I was working for local government, we all hired in, you'd have folks that'd been there 15 years, and somebody hires in right underneath of them making the same pay. I think that if you give them a stipend maybe every 5 to 10 years to show that, you know, we appreciate your loyalty.
The tenure.
I'm all for it, but it's gonna cost more.
Yeah.
I did the scales. I gave you guys the paperwork. Those scales had 2-year increment pay raises for longevity, to stay here, to benefit, keep. It costs more. That's why we pay the same for a guy that's been here 20 years to a guy that just got here and graduated the academy. After 90 days, they're getting paid the same.
But part of the reason why we pay the guys right out of the academy is it was good recruiting tool when we lost the
17 years ago, I was part of the replacements. 5 guys left. One of them sitting right here.
Yeah.
He's got a big smile on his face.
John, you went to work where, state police?
It may be a
Yeah,
small, but
went
it's
to Louisville
not
Metro.
funny, guys.
Jefferson County, yeah. I remember losing 4 at one time when Mike was the sheriff, to a couple of them went state police, Green and Hardin,
No,
Richard.
Dean and Wells went to the state police.
I'm going back
John-
further than that though.
John,
The bottom
Tommy,
line is,
Joe.
we have to come up with a plan to retain our officers.
Hey, what about retaining all employees that we're having right now?
We can do- Yep.
Because Brad's losing a guy right now to the city,
We all
I'll fight
started.
for all the employees of the county. If we're starting to lose guys for the road department, let's take care of them. I'm not just battling for my guys, Judge, okay? But it's becoming an issue when you can have replaced guys and we compare apples to oranges. Thank you.
You're gonna need more revenue, is all I got to say. You know what that means, don't you? I'm not opposed to it, because you're all running for reelection, and I'm not. Just to put it on the bottom of the bottom line, especially if you're gonna do it out of general fund monies. The other departments sometimes can sustain increases because we raise the fees. The garbage fees, the landfill fees, ambulance fees, etc.
Judge, I have an issue to bring up. I've emailed you guys about our voting machines, so we can't forget about those. I mean,
Yeah.
they're gonna be outdated,
Well-
not certified.
What we need to do, Jeanette, there is, we need to get with one of the other counties that's using them and find out, we're not gonna do it this year
Exactly.
because your election's already set and I don't wanna confuse
By the
people.
general
Hey, y'all don't get nervous.
Yeah. The general next year, they'll be outdated, they'll be not certified.
Yeah.
We'll have to look at it. And maybe some extra supplies. It's been a while since we.
I'm retiring. No.
Just, we can't forget about it.
I'm teasing. No, she's already hit me up for it.
All right. I got
Thank
it.
you, John.
Oh,
We've got to do
that's why
closing.
you're done.
I was reminding you more to move on. Entertain a motion to adjourn. I'll get you some numbers before our next court meeting and how possible we can pay for an increase in taxes or fees to pay for it. Unless you want to cut some services. Motion's been made by who?
I need a second.
Bernard, thank you. Bernard, there's a second, Gary?
Second?
All right, all approve, say aye. Disapprove?
Slow on that vote there,
Motion
Judge.
carried. I know, my concentration.
No, I mean,
Oh. My concentration today is not too good.
thank you.
I'm